And Coach, your opening thoughts about tonight's win?
Man, great job defensively. These guys followed our game plan to the T. We saw them heat up last night. We saw them in the first game of the season. They hit like 8 or 9 threes against us. And we just said, hey, we're going to take the 3 ball away. Well, we want to make them have to make tough shots. And, you know, if they make them, they make them. But we pushed up on them. We felt like they couldn't make enough twos to beat us. But that's where we do a great job there. We don't necessarily have to shoot the 3 ball well to win. We just need to take care of it, make sure we out-rebound you. We out-rebounded them 49 to 35. We got to the free throw line more. We didn't make them, but we got there, which put their guys in foul trouble. So we was able to put some pressure on them there. And at the end of the day, I mean, these guys have been here before. You know, all of these guys here were starters on last year's team. Where Jazz was our 6th man when he played 18, 19 minutes a game. So those are starting minutes. So they just get it. When they get in these environments, they know what winning basketball is. They stick to our formula and they listen. They listen. So I'm extremely proud of these guys.
We'll take questions from the floor. If you could please use the mic.
JT, you might be the most unheralded champion in the state of Texas. Talk about how many rings you have and what it means to leave a legacy with your coach, Brandon Thomas at Faith Family.
It's gonna be my 2nd one. See, when I was a freshman, I never thought like this would happen.
Neither did I.
Man, that's amazing. It means everything because like I worked hard for this, very hard.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about right here, a little bit about having to play from behind tonight and kind of what you were saying to the team there when you fell into a hole early and what that was?
We always say big games are won in the second half, period. You know, we started the season down to these guys by 15 in the 3rd quarter. So being down 7 or 8 in the 1st quarter is kind of lightweight compared to that. Matter of fact, our first 3 games of the season we were down, you know. And so these guys are just, you know, again, they don't, you know, they don't, what's the word I'm looking for here? They don't get flustered. They don't get flustered. You know, we just say keep chipping away, play our game. We had the pace of the game that we wanted. You know, they pressed us, but, you know, they weren't able to necessarily speed us up. In terms of turnovers, it was even, you know, and they were the more aggressive team on defense. I mean, we said, hey, we're going to sprint back and let them come to us every time because we know they want an up and down game. So we didn't want to have an ingredient, you know, added to that formula by pushing up on them. So yeah, I mean, our formula has been all year, you know, get to the free throw line more, out-rebound the team, and take care of the basketball. Because we're not the best three-point shooting team, I think last year in the state championship we made 13 threes, and we made 1 today. You know, this is a totally different unit, you know, and they've hung their hat on defense, as they should. I mean, we got 2 big guys inside, they protect the rim, they rebounded well, they alter shots, they block shots. So, but to answer your question, and I hope I did for you already, being down in the 1st quarter, there's so much basketball left at that point. And the way that they play, you're going to have so many possessions.
And then also, what did you see from Peyton tonight, especially in
Amazing,
the second round?
amazing. You know, Peyton, we've been around him forever. His dad, you know, myself, Coach Miles, and Coach Pape, we're graduates of Kimball High School. We were on the '97 state championship team. His dad was a big-time player at Kimball, so just that Guster's name, you know, Patrick Guster's, Lonnie Guster's, his sister Hannah Guster's is a McDonald's All-American. He just comes from a long line of you know, of hoopers, really good hoopers, so I'm so proud of him. I think he had 0 points at the half, and he ends up with 19. He ends up with a double-double at that. That's big time.
Coach, we were talking this week, and you kind of said the vision wasn't to build a dynasty when you got to Faith Family, but looking at 3 titles since 2019 now, as you're able to kind of step back and reflect on that, what's kind of the takeaway from what you, your staff, and the players have accomplished since everyone's kind of arrived here?
You know, when you're coaching, you know, I'm 44, I've been coaching since I was 24. It's been 1 long season, man. So, you know, I guess I'll take a step back once it's all over. But, you know, winning championships, honestly, we don't set out to do that. I'm pretty sure no one's gonna believe me, but we don't. We just go to work, and everything that we do and everything that we accomplish is a byproduct of the work that we put in. That's where our focus is. We don't talk about winning state. Now, everybody in our community does. Everybody on the internet does. You know, Paul Miranda does. You know, but we don't talk about it. We don't. And so the dynasty talk, that's barbershop talk, that's social media talk. We're trying to protect what we have, you know, and you know, just we're gonna get back, be on spring break, take a week off, and get right back to work, you know. At the end of the day, as a coach, I honestly get way more satisfaction off seeing these guys sign those letters of intent. You know, having a guy like JT, like he said, he has 2 championships. I know he's a great player. He's the most productive player that I've ever had. And I got guys I coach JaVale McGee, he's playing for the Mavericks right now, right? But JT Toppin is the most productive player that I've ever had. And it's all a product of the work that he puts in. I mean, he is a gym rat. He asks these guys, he lives in our gym. You know, he's there in the mornings, he's just there all the time. So to see a guy like him come in, like I said yesterday, 6'3", $160, soaking wet. Now he's, you know, getting ready to go on New Mexico and playing at, you know, the Pit. He's gonna be a big time player. There's no doubt in my mind. He's gonna be a big time player. Seriously.
Coach Thomas, remember the first one?
Yeah,
and I don't want you to compare it to the other two, but what has this team been different than the other two before? And then for the players, what does it mean for you guys to be playing for Coach Thomas? He puts so much into this program. He puts so much into you guys.
The difference in the first one and these last couple have been, that first one, we were not the favorite. You know, we were far from the favorite. I mean, Women Hutchins was extremely good that year. They beat Duncanville that year, and Duncanville was a 6A state champion. Silsbee was trying to go for a 3-peat. They had all their players back. They lost to Yates, who was extremely good. They averaged 100-something points a game. And we started 2 freshmen, you know, and I wish more people would, and here's the thing, you know, me and my staff, we work for our community, we work for our administrative staff, we work for these players, but I wish people would, you know, keep in mind that we probably was the first program to win a state championship starting 2 15-year-old kids. You know, now everybody wants to talk about, you know, this player, and I heard somebody say from the crowd, you know, you got an AAU team. Well, maybe parents and kids want to be around a winning program. You know, what's wrong with that? You know, I just don't understand, you know, if my son, you know, if he wants to be a pianist, I'm gonna send him to the best school that has the best music department there is, if I can. So, you know, my staff does an amazing job. They do an amazing job, and you know, we're in a talent-rich area, no doubt about it. And what's wrong with players and families choosing Faith Family? Faith Family can't have a great program. Oak Cliff can't have a great program. You know, we have a great program. So the difference is we were not the favorite. You know, we did it with 2 freshmen. One of those freshmen was the state MVP. He averaged 25 and 13 points, straight Clayton. And now we are the favorite, and you know, I mean, hey, we've earned the right to be the favorite. And it's tough to defend it. It's tough to go back to back. It's tough to win one. The coach we coached against yesterday, he coached 35 years. He never, you know, it was his first Final Four. So we're extremely blessed. We're extremely humble. But these guys work. You have no idea. You probably don't have to repeat the question, but
No,
I'm long with you. I'm sorry.
Oh, you want me to?
Yeah.
Well, my question would be for you guys, and what does it mean for you guys to win another state championship for Coach Thomas, who puts his heart and soul into the program, and he also puts his heart and soul back in you guys every day?
Well, it's an honor, most definitely. The past 2 years I've been here, it has been very influential and beneficial in my life, and I've experienced so much, got to develop as a player, and I'm just honored and thankful to be in this position right here with these guys and to do the things that we've been able to do.
Yeah, I grew with Peyton. Coach BT, since I got here last year, he expects nothing but 100% every day. And he gonna give you his 100, you gotta give yours. And you do that, you match, you end up here.
Yeah. Paid off for sure.
Final question?
Coach, y'all been to state 5 straight times, won 3. Y'all have one of the best resumes of any team at state, 5A, 6A, or anyone. Has the way y'all dominated 4A, is there any kind of discussions or considerations of opting up play in higher classifications in the future?
That's really not a question I can answer because I wouldn't make that call. And out of respect for our opponents, I wouldn't call it. I mean, we've been blessed, but not dominant. I mean, you know, Argyle handled us a couple of years ago when we were coming back trying to win that back-to-back state championship. Yates was extremely good that year. And Booker T is very good. So, and it was a tough game out there today. But in terms of your question, it's not up to me. When I got here, they were 4A. You know, they were 3A before that. I think they were 2A before that. So Faith Family's been around since 1998. Since 1998, so it's not a new school. It's not a new program.
Question for the players. I don't know if you guys know this yet, but you guys went undefeated against teams from the state of Texas this year. You guys just talk about what that says about the caliber of your program to not only be the best 4A team in the state, but be some of the best 5A and 6A teams in the state also.
I feel like when you got a coach of this caliber, you know, like it forces players to be their best, like every night. And we take it game by game, night by night. We don't focus on the future. We go one game at a time. And that's just how we ended up here.
And honestly, when we make our schedule, guys, we don't look at classification. We just try to schedule the best teams we can possibly play in the best venues, on the best platforms to give these guys the exposure. We want them playing under the brightest lights possible so that when they get here and they see, you know, what they experience here, they've been there before, they've experienced it all year. We truly don't look at, like I said, the classification and all that kind of stuff. We just want to play the best teams to challenge ourselves. I mean, you know, I didn't even know, honestly, that we hadn't lost a game against a team. We didn't play many either, though. We didn't play a lot of in-state teams, you know. It's something about being able to get away from Texas and bond on the road, get away from everyone. I mean, their families, my family, you know, and just be together and learn a lot about each other and grow together and, you know, learn from our errors, learn from our mistakes, and try not to repeat them so that you're constantly building and you're constantly growing as the season goes on. So, yeah.
All right, thank you. Congratulations.
Cool. Thanks.